Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. This is a very late video and I apologize for that. I caught up with work. But anyways, today we're going to do something special in view that Squid Games Season 3 is out. I'm not sure whether you all watched them, but I personally enjoyed the season and the series. So I decided to do something that is based on the show. So you can see that I'm going to use the NH70 skeleton movement today, so this will have that effect, looking more cool and stylish. And then of course I will employ the colors like green and pink, which are essentially Squid Game theme colors. So if you're new around here, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to me. This will help me grow my channel and do more such builds for everyone. So as usual, all of the parts that I'll be using today will be linked down in the description, and feel free to let me know any other ideas you have that I should show in my videos, as well as any questions you have related to any of my builds. So this part, basically the NH70 does not come with the gray spacer, so this gray spacer allows you to make sure that the movement itself is compatible with all of the other movements in the NH series, like the very standard NH35. So I have an in-depth video or in-depth guide on this NH7 X series movement, so feel free to watch that video after this. It explains everything about this movement itself. Right, so today I'm going to use this green circular dial, which is of course hollow in the center, to show this beautiful movement. And very simply just line up everything accordingly, standard dowel feet. So this came with 4 dowel feet on each side of the dowel, as you can see. So I just have to align with 2 of those on the gray spacer. You can see in the gray spacer there's 2 holes, so just align these 2 and remove the other 2 dowel feet that are not in use. So once that is very standard as with all other NH35 series builds as well. Right, so feel free to watch on, and I'll catch you quickly in the next part of it. So in line with the green color of the dial and the bezel of the case, as you'll see later, I've chose a set of kind of bright pink hands. So this is one of the theme colors, of course, of Squid Game as well. And I like the end product. It clashes really well in terms of the color. And I also recently bought a new hand setting tool, which I found it very useful because it gives it gives a better and more even press whenever I try to set the hands, and it comes in several size at the tip, so you can change them easily. So if you want to get them, it's not too expensive. I'll also link that down below of where I bought it. So because there's no date for this, you just have to align it. In fact, I think for the owl hands, just make sure that you set it properly regardless of where you align it to. Only particular thing that you should be concerned about is the mini hand. So the mini hand should ideally be aligned to the 12 o'clock marker when the hour hand is pointing directly at one of the hour indices. So in this case, to keep things simple, I just put everything at 12 so that I'm able to ensure that it's parallel and they are stacked on top of each other nicely. So this is just me putting on the hands. Feel free to fast forward, and I'll catch you in the next part. So for the second hand, as usual, my most preferred method is to just put some Rodico at one of the hand pusher and just stick the second hand on it, and then align the tip of the second hand with the tip in the center of the movement. So looking at it then from a side angle, I'm able to actually pinpoint the tip directly, and it gives me better control and better view overall. So even after having the new hand setting tool, I still thought that it's a much more efficient way of setting the second hand. So only after putting it on properly and nice and tight, then you can see some Rodico residue was being left over on the second hand. So what I did was just to dab the stick and just remove the residue properly. So it's important because in the event that the residue hits the top of the crystal of your case later on, there will be a drag, and then it's going to really deplete your power reserve really quickly. So another thing I like to do is, after I set this, I realized that then I will use the hand setting tool again to just give it a nice push so that the second hand is properly set onto the movement itself in a nice and tight manner. As you can see there, all three distinct hands that are separated with each other, so none of the hands are hitting one another. So then there we go, this is done. Really beautiful. I really like how the colors turn out overall. So now it's time to case this watch up. So watch case wise, nothing fancy, just your very standard Oyster case with the middle shine two-tone bracelet as well as a green bezel. So this is like a Submariner bezel, and yeah, so just nothing fancy, just a very simple standard case that you can get from lots of sellers on this Seiko mod space. So as usual, just make sure that you pull the crown stem out properly, just so that none of it gets stuck inside the movement. I've had situation before where the crown stem is actually so thin that it broke and got stuck inside the movement, and I had to kind of use a tweezer at the same time use a Rodico to pull the remaining of the broken stem out of the movement. So that was very painful, so try and avoid that as far as possible. So once you put the movement on, just make sure that everything is tight. So what I like to do is I like to use a tweezer to just while using one finger on the finger cord, hold the center of it, then use the tweezer to just slightly push in at the gray spacer. So I don't like to push in on the movement itself because you might spoil the movement. This is a very, I wouldn't say it's very delicate, but it's best to avoid potentially actually breaking the movement. So always make sure that when you're pushing it, just only push on the gray spacer. Right, so once you push it in properly, it should fit nice and proper, and then align the crown stem with align the position with such that the crown stem is able to enter directly perpendicular into the movement. Right, so you should be able to screw it down properly when it's aligned correctly. Right, so once it's in, then the next thing would just have to be shortening the crown stem. So this is very standard. Just make sure that you measure correctly. Do not overcut. Always underestimate it. And then anything, just use your sandpaper to shave it off so that you have a very nice fitting crown and crown stem. So do watch on. As usual, the steps are standard. Once you cut the stem to the right size, next the case comes with a silver spacer, so just put that in, and then you have your O-ring, make sure it's lubricated well. This increases and improves the water resistance of the overall watch. And finally, there we go. Really very beautiful colors, unique. I would think it kind of fits the theme pretty well, especially given the skeleton movement. I was actually debating whether I should just do a full green color dial, or should I go with this skeleton movement instead. And I'm happy that I went with this NH70 because that, I would think, that kind of accentuates the overall vibe of this, something much more mysterious, cooler in nature to the extent I would say. So yeah, feel free to let me know your thoughts, any comments, whether you like this watch, and of course how you feel about the new season 3 of Squid Game, and any other thing, questions or ideas or themes that you should think I should come up a bit along with. Happy to hear your comments, and as always, I hope that you can like the video, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this hobby and enjoy watching it and doing it as much as I do. And see you soon in the next video.